Good afternoon, evening, and morning, wherever you are, and welcome back to the channel. We are back with the final episode of Ace Attorney Justice for All. On the last episode, we found out who Matt truly was. And we did do the last investigation, we think, of the game. And we're going to go through the trial. This is going to be the ending of the game. So we know what really happened, sort of, but how are we going to prove it? How are we going to get Maya back? That's the question. So that's what we're going to be going here. We'll go through the end of the game. Just so you know, next Monday, the third game of the Ace Attorney trilogy, Trials and Tribulations, will begin. That one is 5 cases. 3 of the 5 are really good. The other 2 are okay. As far as the Stiller cases, as I like to call it. But I think the story balances out really cool, and it has my favorite case of the entire trilogy on the last case. So it's really, really good. So I hope you guys will stay tuned to that. But let's find out what's going to happen here on Ace Attorney Justice for All as we find out the final episode here. Special thanks to Dom and Winter Soldier for coming out. Very, very appreciate it. Just so you guys know, no stream Wednesday because of the way Final Fantasy works. As far as how I play it, that's pretty much all I was doing this weekend is grinding it so I can get to where it needs to be. We should be good the following Wednesday to go ahead and pick that back up, just so you know. Like I said, until we get every character on there for pretty much the long haul in the Final Fantasy series, it has to be done this way and the way I play it. And I'll explain a little bit more when we get into that, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, about why it's like that. But until then, let's get into it. Continue. Oh shit, did I not save this? Oh shit, okay. So it looks like we're going to have a little bit of investigation again. So, sorry about that, guys. So it looks like we're going to have the last half of the investigation, and then we'll have the trial. So it's a little more content for you guys. Just to make this easier. So I'm probably going to go ahead and just get a guide here, and I'm just going to go through this as quickly as possible here, guys, so we can get to the trial portion. And we'll just go from there. Okay? So, apparently, the second half of the last investigation again. Farewell my turnabout, Justice for All. We're going to get back to this. And like I said, I'm going to speed through this for everybody, so I won't be reading everything like that. And like I said, we'll just get through this as quickly as possible, with the exception of a certain person's psych lock that we'll have to go through. We'll just go ahead and just leave it the way it was for that one. Just so you know. Alright. Alright, past 9 p.m. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, let's go ahead and talk to Maya. Or, excuse me, Pearl. Regarding this. We're going to speed through this a little bit, guys. Because, like I said, we did this on the last episode. And unless you want me to do everything again, then just makes it a little bit easier. Say spam shortage. Yeah, exactly. Alright. So let me know, guys, Dom, and when if you want me to go ahead and just read through this again, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and just, like, speed through this, though. Unless you really want me to read this portion again. Da-da-da-da. I didn't see any Cyclops this time, so she has to be good. Something interesting. Adrian. I always wanted to put this as Matt Ungard or Adrian Andrews. I should have probably put that as a stream title. Maybe I'll switch it for YouTube. Who knows? Alright, so just to speed this up a little bit, guys. Go to the hallway. Then we're going to move to Viola Hall. Talk with Old Bag. Feel the wrath of Old Bag. Wanted Adrian. Celeste's suicide. Oh god, I thought I saved this before I ended stream last night. Oh. Alright, so now we move again. Hotel lobby. Now we move to the criminal affairs department. Alright, and then we move to the detention center. So this one we're going to keep in just like before. Actually, we're not quite there. There's actually a couple things we do have to do. Alright. So we'll do Matt's first. Alright, so it looks like you guys just want to go to the trial part, so that's what we'll do. I don't need to examine, I know what's over there. Bye, Cyclops! Wanted Adrian. Alright, then we need to move. I'll move to right. He wants to make it to that salad, unfortunately we can't. Sorry, dude. Now we hear Adrian. Matt. Celeste. Frame him. Should get a lock. Yep, there's a lock. Okay. Move to the affairs department. Talk to Will Powers. Tomorrow's testimony. On guard. Gossip. Select suicide notes. Please me to hear the theme again. Alright. Nah, I don't want to go there. Crap. I know what happens to you. I need to go here. Near wrong turn to the detention center. That's what took me so long. Let's don't examine. Talk. Stuff there. Spy camera. Alright. Now we move here. Yeah, I don't want to examine. Present. There we go. Alright. Now, we're going to start this from here is where we're going to go ahead and start from, guys. Just like normal. So this way, because this is about where I started to act like a doofus last time, because of Mills' raid. So we'll start from here. Now let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Kurita had been successful in his plan? What would he have discovered or disclosed? But before, dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap. But what of me? Huh? I know you paid close attention to Mr. Kurita, especially on that night. With the spy camera. As soon as I can find the thing. There it is. Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Kurita's room the night of the murder. Secretly filmed? What? And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter. Wow, but dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden? Stuffed bear! Spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan. Guess one had a few of those kinds of fans too, huh, dude? Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from a fan. You sure did? Who else could it be from? The person who gave this bear to Mr. Kurita was... you! Be sure and guard. Don't you know this bear from somewhere? I don't think I've ever met this Mr. Bear before, dude. Aw, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend? What else did the bear tell you? He said that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. Ungard. If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg. Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet. Well, do you have any proof you want to show me first? And then here's the proof. Right. Where was it? There we go. I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. Ungard. It's from when you bought the stuffed bear. Dude, I can count from that is that I spent $3,800. I do that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800. This could be a toothbrush I bought that at one time. $3,800 toothbrush! It's ivory. And it's got elephant hair for bristles. Ew. Elephant hair. Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway. The store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you gave him an autograph, did you not? Dude, you should have said that earlier. So I can ask you one thing? Yes. You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that? Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you. Sounds more like a stupid lawyer talk to me. Now, let's stop talking about this, okay? No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential. So, what are you gonna do now? I'm gonna find out what I want to know, because I must. The real reason you hid the camera in Mr. Kurita's room and filmed it in secret is... where's the magazine clipping? There it is. Take that! Agent Andrews, there's a rumor going around that Miss Andrews and Mr. Kurita was having secret meetings. Here, who was keeping tabs on Mr. Kurita? You were going to reveal this fact and turn it into a scandal. Is that right? Dude, you'd be such a moron. Huh? Oh man, Mr. Lawyer Dude, that kind of scandal? That's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy. The good stuff? Juicy? Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny with that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then I'd be the end, dude. Too bad that wasn't your intention. What are you talking about? I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent, but it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Kurita because of Miss Andrews. And there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set up that camera in Kurita's room was... that was a picture card? Right. Take that! What is this card? Who doesn't know about this card? This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelly the Killer. And I'm sure you know him, don't you? Shelly the Killer. That's ridiculous! Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? Finally starting to get the truth. I can't afford to make any mistakes now. Mr. Montengard, I know why you know Mr. Killer. It's because you're his client. So that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? Because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelly the Killer to assassinate Mr. Juan Kurita. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Montengard. And here I was, trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought. Anyway. Mr. Montengard, you really did hire? And now the reveal! Again! Jose, I'm gonna consult myself, okay? Consult myself? Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway. About time for what? I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude. How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Montengard. Well done, Mr. Wright. I bet it wasn't easy to gather as much information as you have. Really? So you are Shelly the Killer's client? You didn't really think I would dirty my own hands in this, did you? What do you mean? And that woman, Adrian, was quite brave herself. Tried to stick the crime on me. Didn't think she had in her. But all I care about is that Juan is dead. Isn't that right, Mr. Lawyer? You're lying. What terrible... It's way past your bedtime, little girl. Go on, let us grown-ups talk about more adult things. But why did you hide the video camera in? We can soon believe the words of others, just like that pathetic Adrian. You knew about Miss Andrews' secret. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone. These are all assassins. What? Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. They turn their clients into cash cows by holding the simple deeds over their heads. And a superstar like me, how much do you think I'm worth? Care to guess? And that's why... Yes, that's where the video comes in. It's got his face and the crimes he recorded on it, preserved for all time. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. That's right. That video is my insurance. Is that what they call it, Mr. Wright? Why would you do something so wrong? Because I'm a grown-up. And I can't. Good enough to answer for you, little girl. Why would you get Mr. Kurita? Because he was about to sling so much dung onto my beautiful public image. Skills are a little annoying, aren't they? This is all because of that press conference, isn't it? If Mr. Kurita had been able to give it, then Mr. On-Guard's secret would have... Ah, well, that's what we call taking advantage of the situation, you know. I had no interest in doing it, really, but bit by bit it crept up on me. And then the situation just presented itself perfectly. How beautiful, I thought. And that's how Mr. Kurita ended up dead. Let me tell you something. I'm not like Adrian. I don't depend on anyone. People are simply things to be used and thrown away. Put on a sweet innocent face, and people will swallow anything you feed them. Adrian fell for it. The assassin too. Oh, and how can I forget you? Even you fell for it, Mr. Lawyer. Everyone, all working their butts off for me, Mountain Guard. Aw, did that leave you speechless? What a shame. What's wrong, Mr. Lawyer? You've grown awfully quiet. How could I have been deceived by you all this time? When we first met, I asked if you had killed Juan Kurita, and you answered very clearly that you hadn't killed anyone. Hey now, I never told you any lies. The person who did the killing was the killer guy, right? All I'm guilty of is taking a cat nap in my room. You killed Mr. Kurita! I dare you to say that in court tomorrow. Aw, but too bad you can't. You're my lawyer after all, aren't you? You could always drop my case and refuse to represent me. How's that sound? Aw, but you can't, can you? That would be the one thing you actually can't do. Mr. Maya, you wouldn't want to test the killer. He's a man of his word, or so I hear. You could end up getting a certain friend of yours rubbed out if you lose. You scoundrel! So if I were you, Mr. Wright, Esquire, I think I would give in my all tomorrow. Remember, everyone likes happy win-win resolution. I'll get you for this. Such a cliche phrase. Juan said something just like that, if memory serves. Of course, well, we all know how well that thing turned out for him, don't we? Good night, Mr. Lawyer. Maya, what am I supposed to do? And now you finally found it. Starting line of this case. Edgeworth. I don't care for the hot atmosphere here. Let's return to the precinct. Fall Guy is in the chat for Heather Association. According to him, apparently in Persona 5, Hifumi was originally going to be a famous thief. That's actually true, Dom. They were originally supposed to have Hifumi. She was going to be playing the Makoto role. Makoto, I don't think, was actually ever going to be in the game originally. As far as why it got switched, I don't know. And that's actually when I played originally. My final two were Hifumi, and it was Makoto, which my last two I was going for. It's like, which one is better? And then when you found out the motive for Makoto, that's when I chose her, because she technically saved your ass in the last case. Really, really cool thing. Well, right? What are you gonna do? You plan on changing your strategy. And I am going to go ahead and quickly go through these here, because the only other major one left we have is when we find Adrian's Cyclops, and then we'll be back on track. So I'm going to speed through these real quick. Then I'll get set up to where I was going to be. No, I don't need to examine. Maya. Why fight? Yeah, originally it was supposed to be like that. Something changed. I have no idea what it was. I think you meant to put that in the other screen, Dom. Yep, didn't think so. Alright, so how did we get to his place from here? Okay, so we need to go to the hotel lobby and then the living room. Okay. Alright, so examine. We want to examine the figurine. Slam through! Alright, move to the wine cellar. Examine the portrait. They ain't got a guilty sentence. Alright. We're almost caught up, guys. Now we get Adrian's Dino Cyclops, and then we're good. Alright. Cyclops. Alright, so we need the suicide report. This one.
Take that!
Alright, and this one is the photograph here.
Take that!
Alright. Revenge. We now return you to your regularly scheduled program, already in progress. Sort of. Save! Okay, so let me take off the gun I had for the last half, like I said. I just did it that way just to make sure you didn't have to go through an hour of that stuff again. So let me get back to where we were. Alright. So, now the new stuff. Oh god, this is back! How did I get in this mess? It's far enough! You can't run forever. Mr. Phoenix writes. Remember this scene at the beginning of the game? What have I done wrong? I cannot now allow you to go on like this. But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title. Bam! Ow! I've had this dream before. Someplace, some time ago. As if this day wasn't written into my destiny. Today I'll stand in court as a lawyer. To prove a killer innocent. March 23rd, 9:43 a.m. District Court, the Senate, lobby number 3. Beep. Oh, this is Phoenix, right? You don't look so well, dude. You gotta prove me not guilty today, right? Is he pleased, Mr. Lawyer? Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Now listen up. You gotta get in guard a guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime ball not guilty, I'll never forgive you, ever! Phoenix! Phoenix! Mia! Maya, how's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? You haven't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please! There's nothing left. There's not here, not anywhere. This is an awesome jingle, by the way. I thought you cursed a guard again. Beep. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Ah, Gumshoe. I'm really, really sorry. Where are you? They let me join the investigation team and we're chasing down the killer, pal. Then you have some sort of lead. Sorry, but right now we got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe. Until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're gonna do everything we can to find the killer. When we can get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. Sure, I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you gotta go at it, Mr. Edward, with everything you got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe you, pal. You and Mr. Edward can do it. So, believe in us. We're gonna give it all we got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Beep! Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You got something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. The strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah. Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gunchu will come through. I know it. March 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Court number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ungard. So, the episode of last week. Yeah, pretty much. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder. That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion onto Mr. Ungard, and then proceeded to escape the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are those from which she cannot escape. And you're saying that she's guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It's like a shell. This is the calling card of a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes. Ron Creator was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt Ungard. What a surprising turn of events! I would think it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time. So I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold out as long as we can. At least until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Will Powers, to the stand. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay. I'm Will Powers. I'm a poor underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Oh, sorry. Well, but I'm just kind of a nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Ungard's room. Okay, sure. Visit to Matt's room. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Powers' testimony. Talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Ungard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy, what are you implying? Well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? It's like we're in another sticky situation. It's like the whole game's like that. I don't understand it. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it? It's almost like what the Rock is cooking. Wait, what? But for us to find out more, we're just gonna have to charge in head first, right? The defendant's room. Why'd you go there? Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother, sort of. And I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why'd you stop? Mr. Wright? What is it? You're gonna try to trick me into a corner, aren't you? Huh? I know I'm just a poor, underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer! No one said you were, Mr. Powers. No, please, don't trick me! Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into a bad guy. Every time? Witness. I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Sorry. Even though he's technically right. So, you went to the defense room, and then? Hey, wait a minute! How did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? Are you sure that was Matt on guard? Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the samurai mask then. If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And? What was Little Kenny doing, sitting in front of his own room? He was talking with someone at first I thought it was the bellboy. We'll come back to this. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. You saw the two of them? The bellboy and the defendant together? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching to him, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip. That's a perfectly normal thing to do. How long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. Alright. Now we come back to this. At first? What do you mean by that? I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. Why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Hey, wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago you stated... you know, I did feel something was weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah! Yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Howard, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Matt gave the bellboy a tip. Okay. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was? Last minute, something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got in his pocket. And that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all. Seems like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of the shocking moments I should ask about. The bellboy's voice on guard's tip. Let's ask about the tip first. Considering he's a huge star, you can afford to give generous tips, wouldn't you agree? Sure. But giving that much was maybe a little too much, I think. A little too much? Would you please clarify for the court about how much would you say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. Can't even begin to guess. Why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash? Well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? Very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Okay. Wait and see. Nothing I can really object to here. I mean, who can argue that a fat roll of money isn't really odd? So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida. Then the bellboy the witness saw. Yes, he was the assassin. Hold your horses now, Miss Jedward. You don't have any proof of this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? Yes. Well, that's true, but that's not what I mean. I have here the card Shelley the killer left at the scene of the crime. Shelley the killer? He is the person the police special investigation team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelley the killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What?! True. Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Actually, if I remember correctly, I don't think it matters which one you do on that one. I'm just thinking that would be the more logical one, so. Yes, sir. Right away. The second time. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. Speaking of which, Winter. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I mean Juan Corrida's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin. Sure of it. I mean... Thank you very much. That is all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Let us first establish that bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see. Maybe, Winner. Who knows? So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Ha 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 ha. It's no laughing matter. And what time was it? Well, I don't remember. The award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that. And then I came back. Then I went to the bathroom. So I guess maybe it was around 8:10 p.m. by that time. You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers? Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats. Are you sure it was the same bellboy? Yeah. How could you tell? All the bellboys wear the same uniform after all. So can everyone see Mia, or is this a Sixth Sense kind of? It's a Sixth Sense kind of deal. But you see, well, he had those stitches in his face. Ugh. So I'm sure it was the same guy that was talking with Matt. So which room did the bellboy come out of? The victim's room, huh? Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and the teddy bears. It was Wong's room, alright. Words cannot describe how screwed I am. Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? Now that I think about it, the bellboy did seem kind of out of place. So what exactly was out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's gonna say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Interesting. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree that is a little bit strange, Mr. Powers. Is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers slide, or let his side try to pull a fast one? Let's pull a fast one this time. Let's have some fun. Nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really is. There really isn't. If you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There's no reason for them to be empty-handed ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness pleading statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth. Are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see. Very well. This court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of the guest rooms empty-handed. But what about the wine glass? Didn't they have a wine glass in there or something? Or... because if he was supposed to be a bellboy, wouldn't he take the wine glass or the wine bottle back? Objection! Mr. Powers. Yes? You could have just come back from carrying someone's bags. Exactly. You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But, isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches? Are you saying all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Really? We're using that one? Okay. Well, there's also... I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look at here. This is the crime scene. There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kurita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that it was a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. You know, it technically should be wine. The boy had just brought this to Mr. Kurita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. Ah! But that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left the dead body in the room. But can you prove that Mr. Kurita was already dead at the time? Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? I blame you for leading me down this route. I'm terribly sorry. What is with him? Why is he laughing? Witness, isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say empty-handed-id. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Huh? What? That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Why do I never know these things? Gloves? Yeah, pitch black, leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why did you mention them earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Boy, does this make the bellboy look really suspicious. Alright. Gotta focus. Can't get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Come on, Mr. Wright. That bellboy was wearing black leather once. So, football is made of leather. Are you saying all footballs are suspicious because they are made of leather? But that meant he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe that he was just another bellboy. Seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest? Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay. Their second meeting. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door just like that. He did something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room? Yeah, we are. Yeah, I kind of... See, and Dom, this is why this is not my favorite case. Because it gets a little too far to me. And you'll see what I mean in the second half of this portion. Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious, too high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Miss Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Second meeting. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He did something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. Well, Mr. Power's judgment just now was just as vague as his first. It's a little troublesome, isn't it? But I'm sure if you press him enough, everything will become clearer. Although, that just makes it harder on us, doesn't it? How about a lose-lose situation? that what you saw while you were busy spying? Excuse me? I may be poor, underpaid action star, but even that wouldn't suit the spying. Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers? Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye and sort of a sneaky spy-like. I knew it was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? Yes. What's the bell on your neck? That's all I care to know. I said, hold it. Okay. That's better. What kind of statement is that? Please allow me to give us a few more details. Oh, okay. Should probably ask him only one question at a time. Well, let's drag everything out a little bit better here. That's probably what we gotta ask, ask her about this something. Oh, no, you know what? No, we'll go in order. Ask about the person inside. So, who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? Sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm? Are you saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. Well, it was Mr. Engard's room, correct? So it could have only been Mr. Engard himself, I'd say. And then, what did the bellboy do after that? Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing. No. Go back to this thing he was talking about. Alright, what's this something? He gave something to this person? Yeah! And what was this something? If I remember what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? Well, this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small. I would like to summarize the testimonies up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you can see was the person's arm. Yes, just like that. Cedric, is all this really that important? Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is when what was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No? If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue. Statue? Yeah, it kind of looked like one, I guess. If it was the actual thing again, I'd probably remember it, you know? Looks like for this trial to proceed, I'm gonna have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him. Gonna have to trust your instinct on this one and take a chance, Phoenix. Well, Mr. Ash, let's continue with your testimony. What did the bellboy do after that? Alright. A wooden statue. Do we have anything like that? A wooden-based shaped figurine, so I guess it's this. Objection! Nick Paws! Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up! It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix. Deep breath. Mr. Powers, there's something you saw. Was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it! That's the something! Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out! I recall we found this at Matt Engarde's mansion. I mean, the defendant's mansion? Or defendant's house? No, he said house there, sorry about that. What does this mean? Simple, Your Honor. Charlie the Killer assassinated Juan Crida in his room. And then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found at Mr. Engarde's mansion would mean... Goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Matt Engarde is the killer's client. Order! 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 Get order! Mr. Wright, this is the most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if you hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edward would have. I almost forgot he knew about it too. I think it's clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. It has to be something we've overlooked. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There's still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Oh. Well, we can't have that. I will have order! Alright, Mr. Wright. What questions point would you like to explore further? Powers' testimony, the person who received the bear itself. Who received it? There is one thing in Mr. Powers' testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. He did something to the person inside the room. Okay, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure of... Ah! What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're gonna scream like that, at least give us good reason why. Oh yeah. Sorry. Actually, so, I remember. I remember who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm. But, the arm. It was the Nickel Samurai's arm, I swear it. You gotta be kidding! Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Order! Order! Looks like you dug your own grave. Yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So, the person who took in this little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And as we all know, Matt Engarde is the Nickel Samurai. Thanks to the events, we made that all the clear. What does he do now? Mia, help! We don't have time to act lost. We gotta find another angle to attack this from. Hurry! Now I'll bring this cross-examination to... Your Honor! Again, Mr. Wright? You've already removed any of our questionable areas of this testimony. It's about time you were removed from this court, Mr. Wright. I have to find something. Even one more little point will do. There's still questions left unanswered. What are you trying to pull? Oh? Well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what question or point would you like to explore further? Well, we already did that, so there's no point in doing it. So, let's talk about the bear itself. It's very obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. By my steam pleasure, you better be sure. The bear? Mr. Wright? This was found at Mr. Engarde's mansion. However, Mr. Engarde was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh. I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It's not possible that it was Mr. Engarde who took this bear to the mansion. Why, that's very true. We didn't even consider that point, Mr. Wright. There was no way time-wise for the defendant to have taken this bear home.
Objection!
You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. Huh? I remember it clear as day. I remember what you muttered to yourself at Engarde's mansion. You have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler. All this time, but he was the killer. The killer and Engarde were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Engarde's mansion as his butler. What a bold move! The bear figurine was brought back to Engarde's mansion by the killer himself. When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Engarde had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion, as well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt Engarde. I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edward has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? Hear the verdict or raise an objection? Duh!
Objection!
There's only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one. He accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two. That very same figurine was found at Engarde's mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. The real client? Yes. Since all you have... Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who did you say is the killer's real client and therefore the real murderer? Because she's the one who came out in the Nickel Samurai costume. Adrian Andrews. Adrian Andrews? Yes. We already know that she tried to frame Matt Engarde for the crime. by wearing a spare nickel samurai costume. Ah! The nickel samurai's arm that I saw... That could have very well been Miss Andrews. But what about Mr. Angar? If you would please recall yesterday's testimony, the defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figure at Mr. Angar's mansion? It's really a trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth? What's your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in the defense's logic. Besides which, there is no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell me Angar did it. I can't believe the figure goes so far to pin the guilt to someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's murder of all things. Save Maya. Save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order, order, order! All distracted parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor? For the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with this what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought it strange and wondered. Why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? Mr. Wright, the killer did specially bring that bear to Angar right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubts against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? Quite simple. Miss Adrian Andrews herself. I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. President will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. But that show isn't coming out for 15 years. March 23rd, 11:54 a.m. This recording defendant lobby number 3. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt on Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Pearls, where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. A really strong power? Don't mind me, I'm just jamming to the jingle. Oh, Miss Nick, your phone is... It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. What about you? Anything yet? You figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What?! We don't have any more time! We just had one. Even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, gotta keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. Did I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent! Huh? A tent? I can see a circus tent! Mia! Looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. but I can see a circus scene outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe! Is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal. The Very Big Circus. You know that from the last case that they said was the worst case of all time in your series? Oh, yeah. Okay. Mine is somewhere within a 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map. About 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And? I can see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? Sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. I felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so. I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Mia, Mike's not her, right? She's in pretty bad state. Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. You alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. Just have to make this trial last a little longer. March 23rd, 12:05 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Agent Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Yes, I have. You've seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? Alright. Why does she... The bear figurine. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. So this figurine, it contains a sort... It's a container of sorts, isn't it? Yes. Looks can be deceiving. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, it's superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You need to begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Looks like there really was something to that bear after all. A puzzle. That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. Sure enough. The people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? If you know the correct order, you can be taken apart one piece at a time. So you can take it apart. And how would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right, then push it in. Oh, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Ooh! This is the most interesting... Oh my god, he's doing the actual thing. Boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. Then what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? I said it's a small cavern, but just enough room to store a small item. And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? There's a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present for you? Perhaps only a puzzle only a Twitch Queen can save. Or can solve, excuse me. Maybe not. Maybe. That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for one. So it's a present from Miss Andrews. Let's continue with your estimate. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. Souvenir from Switzerland. So I doubt there are many people with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it can be easily broken. Especially if someone wanted to get what's inside. Well, it's a toy. But it can never be the same again once it's been broken. Who else noticed that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? Never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then of course that means Mr. Engar didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for it now. Being updated in the court record. Wooden puzzle with a hollow inside, only Kurita and Andrews knew how to open it. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Well, yes, you just said that, so... Now that we've agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What's inside the box? Don't you mean the case? Oh, wait, wrong show, sorry. What's inside? That's right. That's what we're going to find out next. Witness? Yes? You're the only one who can open this. Please. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. Then she plays the wheel for... Wait, never mind. Click! I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. I don't think we need to guess what that is. Do we, Mr. Wright? It's a suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Kurita's former manager, Celeste Impacts. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Kurita himself. It seems Celeste Impacts has very beautiful handwriting, and she just has beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Oh, order! Witness! Did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard it all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But I couldn't find it anywhere. Because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edwards' pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What's written on the note? Right. At least that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it only appropriate the contents of the note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. Pat, I'd like to solve the puzzle. Now he's gonna burn it, for her sake. Deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. Very well. The judge's voices rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celestin has left to us a record of all that happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Enguarde. About being engaged to Kurita and Enguarde's role in destroying that. And about how she decided in her despair to end it all. And that's all Miss Impact had to say. There's one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Enguarde. Then, what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word. Enguarde values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. So that suicide note found inside the figurine, it tells Enguarde's horrible misdeeds. Enguarde saw that a woman killed herself. And this time he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible. What a selfish person. Guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will do defending and creeps too. There's no room for doubt here. Mr. the Killer's primary goal was to obtain the suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house. Seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Country hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. Have to carry on and buy me some more time. Okay. There are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. That was already in the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry! The suicide note or the figurine? Which one of these should I pursue? Well, let's go in order. Suicide note.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. Still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that Matt Enguarde killed the order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Kurita until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I think that Matt Enguarde could not have known what was written on this note. Oh! I didn't think of it that way. Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill it for a note without first knowing what it said. Order, order, order! You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edwards, what is your opinion? It's just a flash, but I think I did rather well in this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The Lieutenant seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. That's what Will Powers did. It didn't. No, he didn't. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Madam Guardian and the victim both thought of the other as the biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim Walk Reader was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt and Guard. Order! Order! Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You... Don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in Seth Spear's eye. But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this. Oh god, that bug sweeper thing. Don't use bug sweeper? By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Vanguard's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What does you say with that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. God learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. You got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's the lawyer thinking? Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shut, stop! Go look at him. The way he's sweating is just so nasty. Phoenix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're gonna do next yet? What are you next? Running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like the judge was very close to proving little in this case. But, in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mio? It's a piece of evidence that we really should investigate. What? Something you should investigate? No, hon, that's called an anime. I would really hate to see that good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Are you speaking of riddles all of a sudden? I think this time is finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What is this piece of evidence that means talking about? I mean, I'm not sure on this one. Is he talking about the note, maybe? Well, it's the only thing we have, I think. Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be able to look at, or should I let it go? Present evidence, because that's the only thing to do. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Objection! Your Honor! The defense has no intention of letting this go easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. Just your imagination, Your Honor, even though you're right. Ms. Edwards, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Now, isn't that what I just said? Did you tell me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edwards. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. The only thing I can think of is this. That's what we just presented. That is Miss Impact's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, this is suicide note was found inside this bear. But this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note has yet been analyzed. Oh. So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impact or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright! Are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it in the bear? How dare you! Your Honor, the victim is truly accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking this witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But this is a fake, and the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? We call the witness testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could have solved the puzzle is the witness herself. Ah! Here's some more glasses. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Mr. Ungard. I did no such thing. Right. If you're gonna pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edwards, you were the one who presented the scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. That's enough! Mr. Edwards, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note? It says as defense stated. The handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. Didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis, my butt. That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time. I'm not guilty. Look at any idiot can tell you that. I think we reached the end of the line. Guilty! 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 What did that sound? It's the coolest freaking jingle in the game. Shut up, Judge. Gumshoe. Hello? Gumshoe? What is with him? What's with that sign? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? Sorry, Pat. I really am. I don't know what else to say besides I'm sorry. Wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. Gonna keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more? Guilty, 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 guilty. Okay, you get the idea. You hear that? They're coming for its head. Mr. Wright, I can't... For us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edwards. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Mr. Edgeworth. Please, you gotta buy us some more time. Court is in session. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying. Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. Sorry, Your Honor, but I'm reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, or you get your pizza half off. Wait, what? But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for the day and then we convene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. March 23rd, 2:04 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Right. Well, what's going on with Maya's situation? The killer. Looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Wouldn't that mean Gumtree has a whole day? Report! And yes, he would, but the thing is, Maya may be too weak to actually survive. That's the thing. Ah, is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time to spit it out! Right. Looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident and rushed to get away. A few things? Don't use any of them as evidence. I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, not a detective anymore, so I had to. No, sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. That's that. Hope he doesn't get in too much trouble. With my hunk of junk car, I'd say he'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. Alright, just get in here in one piece. I'm on a mission. No one can stop me now, sir. No one! Pulling out all the something, running every red light. Items left by the murder, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe! Answer me! No one can stop me. What happened? Sounded like he got in an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We gotta hurry and call for help. You have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he was driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No. We can't let that happen. Well, if there's a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh why did Gunther have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? Sure. So there is a way. What? How? Sure, we can find out whether the detective gives us through this. And remember, Francisco left something with our scruffy detective. Why are you bringing up Francisco at a time like this? Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. Chances are slim, but she's all we have. You and that damn tracking device, Francisca. Would she even want to help us? Edgeworth. What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty. But what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent, not using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. Doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, Field? It's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. Probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. To be continued. Tell who helped catch the one that shot her. There you go. Alright, I will be right back, guys. I'm going to take just a couple minutes. I have to go to the bathroom. So we will be right back. Let me see. Let me save this time. I think this is going to go ahead and give us some music, and then we will be back if so. March 23rd, 2:35 p.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. Alright. There we go. I will be right back. You'll listen to the music, and I'll be right back after I go to the bathroom. Just be a minute or two. Okay, I'm back, guys. Like I said, luckily the bathroom's real close for me, so it only takes a couple minutes. So, we're back. Okay. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Edgeworth? I can understand the defense acting like this. Why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? Looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Miss Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impact herself. It is a fake. Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impact, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Carita. Mr. Carita? Well, well. Looks like Miss Impact never left the suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Enguarde. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Enguarde could not have known that, and so the facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Enguarde had no idea that the suicide note was fake? Something seems a little wrong with it. Well? Well, let's present evidence. What the hell? The defense believes that this theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Enguarde to not have known it was fake. Because of the spy camera. Right? What's this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but... Oh, that's right, a camera. Ah, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, you claimed that Mr. Enguarde knew of the existence of this note. Because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Enguarde would have known that the victim had forged the note. Ah! So the defendant knew the suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Enguarde's motive for murder was suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Enguarde monitored Mr. Carita 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Enguarde didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? The judge has a lot of things, Dom. Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. You are not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what's next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Enguarde's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call witnesses to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edward's stuttering? This is not like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? The witness is one who perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of, who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder? It's impossible! Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It's... Yes, go on, who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley the Killer. Oh, Mr. the Killer. Wait! What? Shelley the Killer? You mean the killer? Or, I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here, to the witness stand. Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this alright with you? You have a choice here? Can't really do much else to drag this trial out. No objection, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is our right to do this. Very well then, the prosecution calls his witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness. You guys remember the parrot in the first game, right? Meet the second game's version. Your name and your, occupation, please. That's right, in this game we talk to a radio. Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. I say! Where's Legal Eagle when you need him? What is going on here? Your Honor? How can you remain so calm? And what is this meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. Killer will testify against the corpse. So this must be what that urgent phone call you got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is the real Mr. the Killer himself. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya! Maya! A voice? Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? There's no objection to this person. We are satisfied that this thing is indeed Shelley the Killer. Looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Like that, this is where it gets a little too much for me. That's why I don't like this as the best case of the first trilogy. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under this circumstance, so... Now then, there's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corrida. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corrida. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yeah, that's it. It's a bad dream. Shelley the Killer. What's he gonna say? About my client. There's something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than a trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. Gill seems to be a very clever man. Almost like he seems to be mocking us. Well, he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor. Mr. Nicola is always stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He's always true by this one belief. Thinking about this trust between his clients and himself thing. Seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, you ready to cross-examine? Yes, Your Honor. No way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. About my client. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please tell us to the clients? I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry, go on. But it appears this is one way you can't badger Mr. Wright. It's only because you don't know about my situation. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust my clients are in dispute about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that is why you testify in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer's name so my clients can trust me. But couldn't someone stab me in the back and break your trust? It's never happened before, but if it ever did, yes, that person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough! Please, no more! Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway. That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. Doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of the prescribed role. A role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? The gentleman who spoke just now. Excuse me, would you care to die? No. I didn't say anything. He better watch himself. I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. And that's why you feel that you can betray this person. I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. He would have figured. Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? The case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. Alright, so now then, I do believe it's about time I revealed the name of my client. Don't you agree? What is it? Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness. What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Juan Corrida? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. What?! Witness! That's not who you told me was earlier! Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client and it's Adrian Andrews. What?! This can't be! On the phone earlier! What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. McKiller just stabbed Mr. Edwards in the back. Stabbed Edwards in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. McKiller told him a different name. Martin Guard, perhaps. I knew it. This is outrageous! I was deceived! This witness is telling a very serious lie. But you were the one who summoned the witness! You, Shelly the killer! My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Martin Guard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden it feels like we can actually win this. Yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was fake. But most definite of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. the killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Martin Guard is innocent. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Mr. Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going on, Guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Yeah, but Edward is right. The killer's lying. An armed guard, my client, I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendants? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelly the killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me! Listen, everyone, please! That tells me just now. It was all one big lie! Miss Andrews? The suicide note may have been a fake. But that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died. And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That tells me just now. You have to believe me. It was horrible. Horrible lie. But Mr. Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife in the butt, dying the Nickel Samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impact was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reason to want them both dead. No. Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please. Help me. Yes, I know the truth. And here we take the word of no murderer seriously. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defendants for any final words or opinions. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for gumshoes and their evidence? What am I supposed to do? Phoenix. I can't do it, Mia. Can't accept the not guilty. You're a lawyer. I know. But Vanguard is a killer. A murderer. I can't. I can't let them get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I am no better than Vanguard. And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face that fact. And it's because of Edward that I know now the real truth. He could have gotten Vanguard convicted so many times over. But he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict now, I'd be betraying his trust. His trust. I never thought about it until now. I trust him? Yes, you do. Mr. Wright, your opinion, please. The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright? Right. But... that witness has cleared your client through this testimony. Your job here is done. I'm not done yet. See through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor. There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this courtroom, a miracle will occur. Very well. The trial will continue. Mr. Edward, please reestablish connection with Mr. the Killer. Right away, Your Honor. Has a verdict been reached? Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more. About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need from me? Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case. That is how things are usually done. What is he talking about, usually done? What shall we have him testify about now? Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail. You legal people in all your proceedings. Is there any one no one likes to go to court? Part 2. As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime, while pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. This is the most unexpected turn of events. For the, 5th time, is it now? However, this time, everything has finally been revealed. Objection! Just a second, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Edwards? We still have this cross-examination to do. But you need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, the defense will question the witness. Doesn't have a choice. Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case. If you scrutinize the testimony, then I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose. I don't understand what the hell's going on anymore. That makes 2 of us. Actually, let's have some fun with this one. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. We'll have to do something to waste more time. A witness about requesting a hit. Yes? How much is your fee? I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. Ah, no! I'm gonna think of that. Mr. Wright! Yes? You want to kill me? You want me dead, don't you? What? Why would you think something like that? You're guilty. Mr. Phoenix Wright, guilty. You're hereby declared guilty. Let's continue. Why did you close the name of your client? They're your client, are they not? I always liked that one. That's why I did that. Alright. So... wait. Adrian didn't know that he was dead. Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKiller. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrido had been murdered. But how do you know that? From the wine glass. The glass? Mr. DeKiller's supposed client, through Mr. Corrido, had only fainted. Which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? That is not possible. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would have never left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Joe, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask for about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client as you claim, then your client should have knowledge of Mr. Corrido's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes? Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection to this absurd situation? Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. I now have to buy us more time. Again. For the last 2.5 days. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies within those items. Request taken. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. 1 week ago. You sure? Yes, I'm quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. The date and time? Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? Sure. So what are these suspicions you had? Why did you call and request that night? I'm sure it was all for that bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Corrida's room. I would like you to achieve that item for me. You must be talking about the bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose his contents at the press conference after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see. Well, was the testimony just now of any importance? Technically it was, but we'll say no for the right now. Sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just conjecture. No, yeah, I don't think it's very important. Well, then, what is pleasing to you? We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was the brief pause? Yeah? Wait I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And then my client and I had sex! And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, does this really just now of any importance? No, I don't think so. Why he makes his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. But please stop sidestepping my questions. What do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I've already told you, Mr. Wright, I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. Uh-oh. That's when I thought I could trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Yes! If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I could trust this person as a client. That sure doesn't look like a man to me. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at the time. Yes, that's correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy. How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. What? Shelley the killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip-up. About her. So what is the issue? Wait, what did you say just now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she was a woman. Oh! Well, they went to radio. Don't worry, just like the glasses, we have more radios too. Order! Order in the court! Mister, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following: that he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request. But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person. Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. Interesting sprite. That's all I'll say about this. Ugh. Mr. Edwards, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name. Yes, Adrian Andrews is without a doubt a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Mr. Edwards, what does androgynous mean? Well, luckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had seen Adrian Andrews' gender. And so, he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. What? What is going on? Sally the Killer, this court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. Yeah, that's it. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies. Very well. But this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Yes, now I remember. I took that request to my mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of one Korean and 2 or 3 other small things. Interesting. When I saw the name of the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. So he took this job through a letter. Didn't get anything about a letter in his earlier testimony. She's definitely lying. Be careful, Fritz. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know. Can't make him suspicious. But, I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. Better not press too much on this one. I am interested in the 2 or 3 things, though. Okay. 2 or 3 other things? Yes. And what were those other things? A few other things that have nothing to do with the case. Really? Should I do? Should I let him slide with that? No! He's really mad if I pushed his button the wrong way and he got mad. Well, it doesn't matter. Press him! Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney? Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your clients. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own clients? That's... I smell the scent of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be the one... Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. Shouldn't press my luck, alright? I have to think. This was pursued. Yes! Which is a very important matter. Please, cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it is truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine? After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Kurita's suitcase. And then what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This really sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. One of these was to find the bear figurine and to give it to Adrian Anders. Okay. Well, let's get the figurine now. Sally the killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item. I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where's everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. I was gonna burn it, for her sake. If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Order! 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 So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, tell us that your client did know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means? It means, Your Honor, that this is impossible for Agent Andrews to be the client. Oh! Alright. So, we're going to take a tiny break here and save it. And the reason we're going to be saving it here is this is the only game in Ace Attorney, and I'm talking about every Ace Attorney game, that has a good and a bad ending. So, we are going to first do the bad ending. So, we are going to save it first. Put that right there. Alright, make sure it's 2301, 2348. Okay, that's what I want to make sure of. Okay. So now we're going to see the bad ending, because I think this is coming up very soon. Order! 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before, how I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. If that's your intention, then there's only one thing for me to do. But wait, please! Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No. Please, not that! Please wait! Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... What in the... Mr. Wright, are you... Mr. Etros. Yes. Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's a need to hear more testimony? Or is this enough? Well, we should... Worth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll... Prosecution. What has come over everyone? Even you were. The prosecution rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelly the Killer's client is... Adrian Andrews! Mr. Wright. Actually, we need to save it here. Yep, don't want that. One save. We'll just save it over here just to make it easier. Okay. Yes, Your Honor? If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Engarde, will be declared innocent. In his place, Agent Andrews will be charged with murder. Miss Andrews will be charged with murder? The prosecutor has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Engarde, to the stand. The evidence for the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. Can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands. Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. Ha. Sad. I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Engarde. What an atrocious lawyer I have. Giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap. This is atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life? You better get Engarde a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as a murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make, someone's life is going to end. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Matt Engarde, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right? I can't do this. But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Engarde, is... It actually doesn't matter what you say here. Personally, Maya wanted me to say he's guilty, he's guilty. We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt Engarde, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. This part changes if you say not guilty. Matt Engarde is... Francisca Van Karma! Dun, dun, dun. What are you doing here? Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off that scruffy fool. Did you bring me the final pieces? Do you have them? You should know better than that to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. A Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine, and his injuries are minor. All the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. That's gumshoes. It's not as tattered rag anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. Fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial. What? Objection! Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. This one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around. Sure. Is all we can hope for. The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? I always like to question everything, so what the hell? Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform the ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case. At least with me. That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as sort of a memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Francisco. Probably not going to help us very much. This will add to the court record. Small caliber pistol that is thought to have been fired by the killer at Francisco. The second piece of evidence is this videotape. The killer took that from Lingard's mansion. You checked out the contents of the tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. Looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like he managed to protect it from the killer. Telling the killer is no ordinary man. They came added to the courtroom. One of the items retrieved, the killer violently tried to recover it. Contents unknown. The last piece of evidence is the bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gateway Water Hotel? Well, just for the hell of it. Was that used during the crime? I'm almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. No doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There's one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There's a button missing on this uniform. A button. It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. Bellboy's uniform added to the court record. One by the killer on the night of the murder, one of his special buttons is missing. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. Just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It's who is the client. Yes, that's correct. And these three items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Ms. Von Karma. You may sit down now. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix? I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's... Try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are two ways out of the situation for us. Two? The first. Make Enguarde wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Enguarde himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but... that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way. Force the killer to end his contract with Enguarde. If the killer were to no longer think of Enguarde as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible! He's a man who values his duty toward his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first. But if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The business seems to show he's not accepting them. Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? The other side. Wait, does she mean... you mean to turn things around? Turn the case around! Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. But there is one person who has yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. That truth, and maybe what will bring about the miracle in the end. There are no objections this time, correct? Alright. Save again. Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Objection!
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it's us that need the evidence, Your Honor. Then, you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. It's right for you to ask such passion. I will grant you one chance. What? One chance? Please show your evidence who you think is the right person. It's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try. That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, things, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Enguarde down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show the evidence to? Alright. Now, the correct answer for this is Shelly the killer. And the evidence that you want to present to him is the videotape. We're not going to do that this time. This is the bad ending. So we'll do John Doe, which I technically don't understand why that's technically the same thing, but whatever. John Doe. I see. And now, tell the court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. We'll show him the transceiver. What the hell? It doesn't matter as long as it's incorrect. This again is the bad ending. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't have anything to say on this. How about you, Miss Von Karma? Well, I was just shot, so... I'm afraid I cannot allow the defense to continue. What? No one understands what you're talking about anymore. Wait, please, one more chance. That is enough, Mr. Wright. I will now state my verdict. This court finds the defendant not Enguarde. Not guilty. Let the committee fly! That is all. This court is adjourned. Just like that, the case came to an end. I ran away from the courtroom and wandered the streets alone. I never saw Maya again. The killer is a man of his word, so I'm sure he released her as promised. I heard the verdict of Miss Andrews' trial a few days later. She was found guilty, of course. The miracle never happened. Maybe it was never meant to be. Because a miracle is something that doesn't exist. The end. That's the bad ending, guys. Now let's get to the good ending. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Objection!
I already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I'm not saying it's us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Then, you want to show the evidence to that person? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask for such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance? Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. It's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try. That is all I will present. I have to try to remember everything that has happened up to this point. Think, think, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Enguarde down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to? Shelly the killer. I see. And now, tell us what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person. The videotape. Well, what do you think, Miss Edgeworth? I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a video game. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. Thought so. I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. Do you know the contents of this tape? I was sternly told by my client you cannot watch it. So I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you're on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What? Is that true? Mr. Wright? Who was it that planted the camera? Well, the only person who could have placed the camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why. Why did Matt and God film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to see Juan get his. They wanted to blackmail you. They didn't trust your skills whatsoever. You suck. Gee, do I really want to go ahead and do this just to see what it would say? I'm really debating about this. Honestly, it's this one. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins are above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelley the Killer? It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plans on how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your client? What would you do then? It's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the Killer Nick, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishments. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Turn this case around! Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item! Beep! Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. Finally. However, I don't quite know what just happened there with the client and the witness, and... Ah! Miss Montgomery, where did that... Who knows? She always has you in her sights. Now, I believe it's time to finally hand on a vote. Mr. Angard, looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You will finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. So you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright? We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. While he's convicted or acquitted, there is no escape from him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. He's not guilty. He said he wanted a not guilty verdict. Not guilty. Congratulations, Mr. Montengard. Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty. By the way, it doesn't matter which one you say. I always like the not guilty because to me it's more poetic, but whatever. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Montengard. Hold it! Please, wait! What's the matter? If I get a not guilty, I'll be killed. I'm no guilty! Suit yourself. Guilty he is. As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helping out much in this case. Mr. Edward, how is Montengard? I have left Miss Montgomery in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whip leather right about now. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. Just be talking about the time Edward really went after her. Guess he's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I'd finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I've felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone. Looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits, and I'm tired of listening to this goddamn case. Goddamn, this thing was long. That is good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned. March 23rd, 5:14 p.m. District Court. Defendant, lobby number 3. You were great out there, Phoenix. Writing out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting him not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think of the moments before Ms. Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. Can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. Have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt Ungard, is he guilty? Or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer with respect to what being a lawyer means to you. Right! Edward! I have good news. Maya is now safe in police custody. Really? Pearls, you tell us the truth, right, Mr. Edward? Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car. Ah, missing Maya! Missing Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick! Ow! He wasn't so simply hard for a kid. I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her. Thanks. Oh. What's wrong? Miss Von Karma. About earlier. Thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling? Mr. Phoenix Wright. You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet, you're still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand Miss Von Karma. How dare you? Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth. For my own personal victories, and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remains spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. Brought him into my usual manner and tasted my first defeat. Felt like I'd lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chamber. In the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. Couldn't forgive myself for all that happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edward chooses death. That's where you should have. Prosecutor who has shaved himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense. We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so,
Objection!
no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with undying faith. And then before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well. What? You trusted your enemy? Doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have. Erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This, I promise you. The truth. Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already. Didn't you, right? Yeah! That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory. Who ran away into the night. Ah! Is Mr. Edwards right, Mr. Nick? You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. All those years ago. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edwards I knew had died. At least that's what I told myself. You pathetic fool. Miss Von Karma. I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. A Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edwards, you are no longer worthy. You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over. Francisco threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Is that the thing you use to detect a gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else. Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip? I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. I should keep this right. Okay. Nick! Maya! Mama! Maya! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! Aww. Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got guard convicted, like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me. Of course I did. You know I would never desert you. It was your personal luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here. Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I do croak, I'll just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost of Pearly. Is it really that easy to do something like that? Thanks a lot, Nick. Don't mention it. Maya. Oh, it's Jethro. I'm relieved you're alright. Hey, looks like you made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, it was a little different from who I was a year ago. Alright. I think it's time we got her out of this depressing place. Huh? Where are we going? Food, Nick! Food! Grub, cat, I'm starved! I'm so hungry even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick. You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least! Come with us, Mr. Edward, please! If you insist. Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick. Huh? This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I decided that we were having to make it up by having another feast. Another feast? Come on, Nick! Food! Okay, where are we going? Oh, are we going back here? March 23rd, 7:38 p.m. Gateway Hotel lobby. Hey, pal, sorry to keep you guys waiting. Nice manages, guys. Gumshoe, you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. Didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. A telephone pole? It wasn't a red light that got him? Y'all did it again, Simba. I thought my dear heart was gonna get it out of me. I ain't joking. Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai. Thanks. Now look here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you have bullied Mr. Red too hard? Don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight either. I'll keep that in mind. Well, come on now, everybody get around. You're gonna get your picture taken by a genuine Professor Photographer. There's a lot of bought herself a new camera. Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal. Amen to that, pal. Amen. You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective. Oh, me? You really think so? He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending. Ah, well, you know. It's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with things from the killer's hideout, I sure took 4 things. What? 4? Yeah, I'm trying to put one of the items in my coat pocket. There's a 4th item? Ah, come on, y'all. It's over. Who bought that? You really are something else. So you're getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped? Never dull moment with you, huh, Maya? You think? Why don't you look so happy about that? But we didn't shut away for 2 whole days. Were you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture. Sounds like you had it rough, guy. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mr. Maya's picture. You know? I don't know where it went. Aww. Too bad. Well, that's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway. Ah. Sure, it's nice to finally see them both smiling again. Where's Jethro? This thing is picking something up. Ah, that's Mr. Carmen's receiver. Oh, hey, sir, I had the most awful speech of my life, sir. Can't believe you stuck a tracking device on me. It's odd. You know, you're standing right here. The tracking device seems to be in a different location. Oh. Probably busted or something, sir. Nah, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do. Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet! And you've eaten way too much, you glutton. Have fun tonight. Now you'll excuse me. Wait! What? Just want to say, thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. The only one who should be saying thanks should be me, right? I feel like the words alone aren't enough here. Let's make out! I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. The whip!
Take that!
What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. Don't need to thank me. It's only doing my job. Yeah, let's get back to that. She's being hostage for 2 freaking days. Shut up and let her eat. So Mr. Edwards has left Mr. Nick. Hey, Missing Maya. Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right? You and Mr. Nick, I mean? Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me! Anyway. Who's paid for this lovely dinner party? If you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick! Huh? Oh, yes. I'm kind of at the point where I can't even buy you some noodles, pal. So I can already put your name on the bill. Huh? Huh? Yeah, I gotta be a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? I just bought myself this good old booty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000. Huh? Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. Huh? Is this famous, Nick? Yeah, Nick. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Aw, you don't need to hold it back now, you hear? Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out. It's gonna be the first time I hear all the real you. Go on, it's been a while since I heard you say it. Been busy being a hostage and all. Alright then. If you say so. Objection! And that is Phoenix Wright Justice for All. You really came through for me, Nick. Had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. Really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? Feel like I'm a pro. That's something to be happy about. Pearly! So happy that you could save Missing Maya, Mr. Nick. And I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sort of made reservations for the 2 of you, just in case. Ah, Pearly. Well, pal, looks like I'm back on the force again. We actually had a long talk with the chief, and he got me reinstated for my sake. Heard he said things like letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Cranky head let me know everything is the only way to live, pal. Maggie! I'm Maggie Bird and retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. Hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright. Yes, are you here to do the patient? I'm Dr. Hottie, Director Hottie. Hottie, yes, that girl you know? I haven't seen her around. Yes, but I remember, I even laid so much an honor it would go crack. Didn't matter if I got it with though. Yes. Oh. Thank God. Time to begin our quest for world circus domination, sweetie. And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe. Hey, Matt, what do you think Zimbabwe's like? Do you think there are castles made of cake and bunnies who can talk? I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at most jokes. So you gonna mow? I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall for deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Mo curls. Represent. We got a new act all worked out. Prepared for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, will you? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. What's it? God, it's just an ordinary electric razor recharging on a stand. Can't believe this. Really, how long do they plan on making me do this? But it's Eddie Cruz's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But, why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? I was never like this in my old days. Everyone thought the world was me. They used to call me the Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty, and any other man who goes, this is going to feel pain in my heels, yes, this is going to feel speaking burn playing fire with very dangerous because of that 3 words for so saying there's the things you staked at. I know I fucked up like every word on that, and I don't care. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edward did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone. It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity. Bye-bye, radio. March 23rd, 9:42 p.m. International Departures, Gate 12. Where are you going, Francisco? How did you know I was here? With this? That's... Heard you were planning things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example. Just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. It's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting. When I ran out with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total. 4 things? Since he put the last one in his coat pocket. You put it in here? Doesn't matter anymore. Case's already over. What are you gonna do now? It's none of your business. You running away? Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be a Manfred Van Karma's daughter. Francisca. So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what, and failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to. You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be. No, I'm not. Not anymore. I just threw my whip away. Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right? You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm gonna say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip. Haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone when you walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth. I always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge when you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Agent Andrews did. Agent Andrews? You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Today you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Francisca Van Karma. Aww. I am Francisca Van Karma. Don't think I'm gonna walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now. So you better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Till then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. And here's the fourth item. Nick! That's your drawing. The end. And that was the end of the second game, guys. Like I said, it went a little too long to me in that last case, which is why it's not my favorite. A lot of people do think that is the best of the trilogy. And it's really a close one between this one and the final case in the next game, which you'll see. I personally like the third case of the final game better. Or excuse me, the last case of the third game better. But that's me. So, what we will go ahead and do, just so you know, the next game is Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations, the third of the 3 trilogy games. This will go ahead and find out the main story. This is the last game that's on the PS5. Everything else you have to play on, I believe it's the DS, or the 3DS I think has it as well. It introduces a couple new characters. There is an anime out which I think highlights these first 3 games, if I remember correctly. So if you do like Ace Attorney, definitely play these games if you haven't. It's really a joy. It's a shame these other ones from Capcom has not been released on there, but it's really awesome. Keep in mind that second game, Justice for All, had a really short span of when it was written to when it was on the consoles. So that's why it gets a little bit of slack because of it, but keep in mind, like I said, short turnaround time. Like I said, I think it took like 6-9 months maybe at the most, maybe less than that, to put the entire game together, and there's only 4 cases. This 5th case is, this third game is truly something interesting. You're going to see a lot of things that's going to tie the phase name around on this one, and we will get to those Monday. Start with case 1, and it's going to be a real doozy starting on the first one. So that's going to go ahead and do it for me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed everything regarding the second game. Sorry about the first 30 minutes of that, guys, but like I said, I forgot to save it apparently, and that's why I did it. And the next time we'll be alive is Friday. No stream Wednesday, because like I said, the Final Fantasy X stuff has to be done a certain way for the way I play it. So it takes a little bit longer to get to where I need to go. We'll be back Friday with more Lost Judgment. Probably doing more school cases and side cases if there are any. Probably get into, I think there's a biker gang and a robotics club apparently. And then next Monday, we will start this game right here. Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. That's going to be the process, and probably the following Wednesday we'll be back to the Final Fantasy to get back into that. But I should be able to get back to where I need to be on that one. So the first couple streams is going to be every 2 weeks until we get the full party back together in Final Fantasy, and then we'll go through it. But until then, special thanks to Winter Soldier, Don McLean, the lurkers out there. Thank you so much for coming in. Again, next time we'll be live is Friday. With more Lost Judgment, and then Monday with Ace Attorney. Until then, be kind to yourselves, be kind to your families. We'll see you next time. Good night. Good gaming. Take care, everyone.